guys, welcome to my channel Life with Ash. This is my first ever episode in my new little studio, so that's exciting. So today is the 27th of March, which is mine and Johnny's first year anniversary, which is super exciting. So I've decided in secret to make today's vlog, this week's vlog, about Johnny, without him here and without him knowing. So yeah, join me as I spill my guts and talk about how truly incredible this man is. So for those of you who don't know the story, I'm going to tell it. On the 27th of March in 2020, I was living at Ronald McDonald House with Bobby, and all of a sudden there was a knock at our gate, and that would never happen. So I went out and it was a man holding flowers, and he's like, "I've got a flower delivery for Bobby." And I was like, "Oh, how sweet." Anyway, I took the flowers inside, I gave them to Bobby, and I took the card out. And in the card, it said, "Dear Bobby," basically in a roundabout way, "can I have your permission to be Ashley's boyfriend?" And I read the card to Bobby, and it was in words she understood. And I said, "Bobby, can Johnny be my boyfriend?" And she said yes. She was really excited. I don't know if she fully understood what it meant, but she loved Johnny, so it was a no-brainer. As soon as Johnny's name was brought up, it was yes to everything. So Johnny asked Bobby's permission to be my boyfriend, and honestly, it was the sweetest, most romantic gesture, because anyone who knows me knows that the most important person in my life is her. Still, even after she's gone, she's still the most important person in my life. And I would never bring someone into my life that I didn't feel loved her. And he did. He loved her more than he loved me. And I was so okay with that. Yeah, so Johnny asked Bobby's permission, Bobby said yes, and from that day on, I have been Johnny's girlfriend, and Johnny has been Bobby's man.
Mine.
He's my man.
No, he's my man.
Bobby's man.
Love you.
This man is honestly the most kind-hearted, romantic, sweet, incredible man. I didn't believe men like this existed, and I've had some pretty terrible experiences in relationships, and not just romantic relationships, but relationships with men in general. Like, you know, a father relationship who was constantly letting me down through my childhood and beyond, and male friends who, when it came down to the crunch, were only really hanging around because they wanted more than that. And, you know, I just had terrible experiences with men my whole life, and I didn't believe that the perfect Prince Charming man existed until I met Johnny. And I felt like he was a little bit too good to be true, and I was sort of waiting for the facade to drop. And I would always say that, say like, you know, yeah, he's trying to win me over, but you know, when does this behavior stop? But it never did. 1 year later, he is still exactly the man that I met a year and a bit ago. He is still just as sweet, just as kind, just as caring, and honestly, I know a lot of people say this, that they feel like they're the luckiest girl in the world, but I truly believe I am. And I cannot imagine going through life without Johnny. And I've always been a super independent woman, and in every relationship I've always thought, yes, I really love you, but I'd be fine without you. But it's different with Johnny, because I don't think I would be. I honestly, imagining my life without Johnny makes me so incredibly anxious, and I hope I never have to find out what life without Johnny is actually like, because I'm starting to feel anxious. I don't know how I would have gone through the last year of my life without him. And not just losing Bobby, but everything that went with that. When I met Johnny, I was spiraling. I had started drinking more than I should. Overnight, when Bobby was asleep, I drink because that's what everyone around me was doing. That's what all of my influencers were doing. It was just a normal thing. Everyone around me was just drinking every day, and I had nothing else. So I was drinking more. I was reckless. I was silly. I was depressed, and I had nothing to live for. At the time, obviously I had Bobby to live for, but after Bobby, in my head, there was nothing. There was nothing. I didn't want a happy, beautiful life after Bobby. I just saw darkness. I saw depression and heartache and just a big black hole. And it terrified me. I can't even put into words how much dread there was. And not just the fact of losing Bobby, just the fact that I knew I was going to completely lose myself. And there is no amount of preparing for that. Like, you cannot fathom that. So there was just this big black hole. I had nothing to look forward to. It was so daunting, and it caused me so much anxiety and depression, and there was a lot of really negative thoughts surrounding that, as any human being would have. But then Johnny comes along, and the first night I met Johnny, he talked about all of the things he loved, how he loved to, you know, go camping and go on adventures. And when he was talking, the first night I've ever met this guy, I'm sitting there thinking, this is the kind of man I want to be with forever. I definitely wasn't looking for that at the time. I was just looking for a friend, someone to, you know, have some fun with outside of my life with Bobby. I never imagined I would bring a Tinder match, of all people, into Bobby's life, but he was so much more than that. And I knew that after the first conversation with him. And yeah, it was just instant chemistry. And I don't think I've ever really experienced that before. Like, people have always said, when you know, you know. And I thought that was a bit of BS, to be honest. I would mock couples who meet and then are quickly engaged and quickly have a family, and just they move forward really quickly. And these people will say, when you know, you know. You don't have to wait years. When you know, you know. This is your person. And up until Johnny, I didn't believe that. But now I do. And I have never felt more connected to another person in my whole life. I have never wanted to grow and be with someone more than I have with Johnny. Like, I just want to grow old with him and spend my whole life with this man. And that would be my dream come true. Like, for instance, I had this idea in my mind that I would be this strong, independent woman who I'd need to find a man that would do everything I wanted to do, and that's how it had to be, because it had to be my way. Terrible partner. But with Johnny, it was just like, this is it. Like, I found my person and I will do whatever it takes to make this work. I will live wherever you want to live. I will do whatever you want to do. When you want to do this, let's do it. And that, if Johnny was the type of person to take advantage of something like that, he easily could have. I would have dropped my whole life in my hometown to move to Sydney to be with him, to do whatever it took. But he's not that kind of person that would take advantage of that. He's the kind of person who felt very much the same. And in fact, he was the one who dropped his whole life in Sydney to move 3 hours away to my hometown where he knew no one. And he's happy here. He loves it. But, you know, if at any time he changes his mind, I will go with him wherever in the world he wants to go. I am so madly in love with this man. I don't think I can put it into words, and words are my thing. I love words, but I honestly can't put into words how much this person means to me. And it's not a trauma thing. It's not because he went through a really big trauma with me. It's a genuine human connection with so much love. And as I said, I didn't believe that relationships like this existed. So I ended up introducing Johnny to Bobby before we were even a couple officially. And it was the best thing I ever did, because seeing those two together, just, oh my God, if I wasn't already in love with this man, seeing the way he looked at Bobby and Bobby looked at him, there is no way I couldn't have fallen head over heels over this guy. He was so amazing with her, and that's just him. He loves children, and one day he will make the most incredible dad, and it would be an absolute honor if I get to be the woman who makes him a dad. He's amazing. He's so supportive, and I've never had someone handle me and my emotions better than Johnny does. And I'm sort of exposing myself here, but I'm not the best partner. I have a lot of flaws, and one of my flaws is my short temper, and I get really moody, and I'm going through a lot, and I'm struggling a lot with my depression. So there's a lot of mood swings, and Johnny is just so gracious and kind and understanding. And when I'm going through a mood swing and I'm in a bit of a snappy mood, instead of snapping back, his instinct is to comfort. And I've never experienced that before, so it's weird. And I'm just like, why are you comforting me? Why aren't you getting angry at me? It's a very weird thing when you're not used to that from previous relationships, but it's what everyone needs. I swear by this statement, every woman needs to find a man like Johnny, and I'm sorry that I've got the Johnny, but please try and find a man like him out there, because they do exist, and you should not be settling for anything less. And I get comments all the time that, you know, they wish they had a Johnny, and can we clone him, and does he have a brother? And I look at those comments and you guys are right. If I could clone Johnny and give every woman a Johnny, I would. But he's a very, very special man, and I'm so lucky. After everything I've gone through in my life, he's the one thing that I'm like, this is what keeps me going, is because I want to have a life with him. I want to better myself so we can have a better relationship. I want to improve on all my flaws so our relationship works better and our life is better. I want to work hard so we can have a nice life and have nice things. And I want to settle down, and I would do anything to make this relationship work. And it's the drive that I needed after losing Bobby. It's exactly what I needed. I needed that push, that motivation to say, hey, yes, life is really hard, but there is a silver lining. You will be happy. You will have a nice life. You will have things to look forward to. And I think Johnnie was my gift from the universe, if you believe in that sort of thing, because thinking of the future was so dark. And I was in such a bad headspace about life after Bobby before Johnnie came along. And it wasn't until getting to know him and falling in love with him that I actually realized, hey, it's not all dark. There is a silver lining here. There will be happiness in my life after Bobby. It will be hard, but there will be a life after her. And I needed that to keep going. I needed that to keep going. And within weeks of meeting Johnnie, I stopped drinking. I was doing things that were better for me than just drowning my sorrows. I was going to the gym. I was going for walks. I was doing things that were good for me instead of self-destructive, because I wanted to look after myself to prepare myself for where I'm at now. Because if I just completely let myself go, if I got into a spiral of drinking and bad habits, I don't know where I would be now. I would be so unhealthy and I would have no motivation to look after myself. Because when you form those habits during a traumatic event, when the big traumatic event happens, you're going to make that worse. You're going to spiral out of control. And Johnnie stopped that for me, and I'm so grateful, because that's not me. I don't want to be the woman who drinks every day, smokes every day, you know, takes reckless and makes bad decisions. That's not me. That's not who I want to be. So I'm really grateful. It's kind of hard to talk about this sort of stuff because, you know, the girl who drinks most nights and gets drunk is not the girl my audience knows me to be. But in all honesty, that was what I was doing for a few months there. As I said, it was what everyone around me was doing, and I sort of fell into that. And it wasn't peer pressure. I'm not saying it was peer pressure. I'm saying it was, why not? What else have I got to do? What else have I, you know, it was really bad. And I'm really thankful that I had Johnnie to pull me out of that. He gave me a reason to want to be the best person I can be. And don't get me wrong, even when I was drinking, I was 100% there for Bobby. I would never drink when I was with her. It was more so when she was having a night at hospital with her dad or stuff like that. I was always responsible with her. With myself, no, but with her, she was number one. Yeah, so I'm so glad I got pulled out of that. And I poured a glass of wine with dinner last night, and I got halfway through it and I was like, ugh. Whereas that's so not like me before Johnnie. You may have seen my intoxicated TikTok that I posted, very much exposing myself. It was hilarious though. And I'm not saying I'm a saint. I love to drink at an event, get a bit drunk, have fun, but that's few and far between. I think that was the first time that I've actually been drunk since maybe Johnny's birthday last year in November. I don't know, don't quote me on that. I have never felt more loved and supported in my whole life. And Mum, please don't be offended by that statement. I love you. No one will ever support you like your mum does, okay? But other than my mum, and she supports me and loves me because she made me and she kind of has to. But Johnny came along and he's someone that in no way, shape or form has to love and support me, but he does. And he is my biggest fan. He has pushed me to do whatever I want. And not pushed me in a way as, you know, you're being lazy, you need to do this. It was, I hate seeing you with no motivation and no drive, because that's not me. I am a really motivated and driven person. So when I go through depressed stages, I lose all of that and I lose myself. And Johnny's the one there right beside me saying, hang on, what are your dreams? What do you want to achieve? Let's do whatever it takes to achieve them. And he gives me that push that I need. Every week he's like, okay, have you started thinking about what next week's video is about? And I'll sort of shrug it off. No, I'll make it up on the day. And he's like, no, Ash, you need to be organized. You love doing this. You need to have a plan. Like, let's sit down together and plan a month of videos in advance together. And not only does he motivate me with his words, but he motivates me with his ideas. He's constantly giving me these amazing ideas for my YouTube channel, for my life, for my job, for everything. And he's not just, you know, a cheerleader in the background. He's literally carrying me. He's phenomenal, and I can't even put into words how much his motivation has helped me through my depression. And don't get me wrong, I am still struggling, but he helps me struggle less, and he helps keep me focused and get me back on track when I need it, because I do need it. I do need that push to get things moving, because I can become a bit complacent and a bit unmotivated at times. And without Johnny, I probably wouldn't have this little studio. It was him that was like, okay, let's go to Bunnings, let's set it up. And it was him who was like, okay, well, let's go furniture shopping, and let's go looking for the perfect shelf. Let's go looking for the perfect chairs. And he gave me that push. It may have been my idea, but he's the driving force behind it. And I'm so blessed to have that. To everyone out there who's watching this and who feels saddened by the fact that they don't have this in their relationship, I seriously encourage you to work on it with your significant other. And if you don't have a significant other, hold on to hope that there is amazing people out there like Johnny. They're out there, and you will find your person. You've just got to know exactly what you deserve and not settle for anything less. And we've all done it. We've all settled for people who are less than what we deserve, and that's okay. Because without those people, you wouldn't know what you truly want and don't want out of a relationship. So I'm thankful for my bad experiences, because they've showed me exactly what I don't want. And when you find what you do want, it's even more special, because I know you've experienced the complete opposite of that. And it's it's mind-blowing when someone treats you with so much love and respect and is so caring and so kind after you've experienced the opposite to that. Coffee break. So I know Johnny will be watching this. He, as I said, he's my biggest fan. So I have this thing, right? And every time I write a card for someone I love, I feel it from both sides, just filled with a giant love letter. But for Johnny, that's not enjoyable because he's just dyslexic. So I hope this video is a good substitute for that, because I only wrote like this much in the card and I tried to keep it as short as possible, which was very hard. So Johnny, I love you so much, and I am so grateful for you every single day of my life. I will be sitting at work and all of a sudden you'll cross my mind and I just can't help but smile, thinking about how lucky I am and how happy I am with you. And I cannot fathom that I can be so sad and heartbroken, but so happy at the same time. In my brain, it doesn't make sense, but I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love for me and how much you care about me and how dedicated you are to helping me and my family, and how dedicated you were to Bobby. And I know this sounds really cliche, but I will never be able to love someone like I love Johnny, because no one in my life has ever loved Bobby as much as I have, except for Johnny. And I know that you loved her very differently to what I did, and I know you've voiced to me before that our grief over Bobby is very different, but you loved and cared for her more than anyone else in her life except for me. And she knew that, and she felt that, and I will forever be grateful for you for that.
Who do you love?
Johnnie.
Do you love Ash?
Johnnie.
Do you love Dad?
Johnnie.
And it was the most amazing thing to watch. Watching her fall in love with you, you fall in love with her, it definitely made me fall in love with you. And the relationship that we have, I could never have that with anyone else, because she will always be the biggest part of me. And I love that you got to know her, and you got to know the person I love most. It means the absolute world to me to know that you love her just as much as I did. You were definitely my Prince Charming. I am so crazy in love with you. I am spilling my guts to thousands of people on the internet, thousands of strangers, thousands of friends, supporters. But this is for you, this is for Johnny, and I just wanted to tell you how much I love you and how much you truly mean to me. There's no one else, and there will never be anyone else. Basically, this whole video, I just wanted to share with the world how lucky I am, how supported I am, and how grateful I am to have someone like Johnny in my life every day. He is the only man I ever want to wake up next to, the only man I ever want to fall asleep beside. He is the love of my life, and to have found that at the perfect age. I thought meeting someone in the midst of the storms with Bobby would be a disaster. But in hindsight, I am so glad he came into my life when he did, because he has truly saved me. I don't think I could have come out on the other side of losing Bobby the way I have without him. In fact, I can say I'm 99.99999% certain they would not have come out on the other side like this. And that's because of Johnnie. And I will be forever grateful for him, for everything he does. From making our bed every night before we get in it, because I just twist and destroy the sheets every night. He makes the bed every night when we get in. He cooks me pancakes for breakfast almost every weekend. He just does house chores when they need to be done. He never needs to be asked. He's amazing, and he does so much, and I really could not do this without him. Well, I think I'm gonna end it right now. I could go on for hours. I could sit here in front of the camera and talk for hours about how much this man means to me. He means everything to me. But I'm gonna cut it here because I've got so many beautiful photos and videos to add throughout this video. Johnnie, I love you, and thank you for making the worst year of my life also the most beautiful. And oh God, when I look back on this year, I don't focus on all the heartbreak. I focus on all the good, all the memories, all the love. And I focus on the support that you gave me through the hardest time of my life. And for me to sit here and say that you've turned the worst year of my life into something extremely beautiful, I never thought I would be able to say that. But you really have, and the person I am now, the person I am today, I owe a lot of it to you, and thank you so much for keeping me strong and keeping me motivated and making sure I'm loved and happy every day. Because no one's ever had my back like that before, and sometimes I don't know how to deal with it and I don't handle it very well, but you are by far the most beautiful, amazing person in the world, and everything that I am today, I owe a big piece of that to you, and I hope this is the first year anniversary of so many decades to come, and I hope we can look back on this video in years' time and see how far we've come together. Thank you guys for watching this. I know that you guys are so supportive and you guys love my relationship with Johnnie, so I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you take something out of it. I hope you aspire to find a love like the love that Johnnie and I have, because nothing's perfect, but it's pretty damn close. So I hope that we can become one of your relationship role models, because I wish I had role models like Johnnie and I wish from the start that this was the relationship I aspired to have. I didn't know a relationship like this existed. I've never seen a relationship like this. All the relationships I've grown up seeing, like, you know, between my parents and family members, and I've never seen a relationship like this. I didn't know they existed. So I hope by being so public about how great my relationship is, you set your expectations higher. Not only just for your future partner, but for yourself. because you can't expect the perfect partner without also pushing yourself to be the perfect partner. So it's a team thing. So I hope by being so public about how great my relationship is, that you set the bar higher for yourself and for your future partner, and you strive to have a love like the love that we have, because it's so damn special, and everyone deserves this kind of happiness. Yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll have another video up for you next week. Thanks again. Leave a comment down below as to what you took out of this video. Tell me, I want to know what you guys are getting from my videos. So let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, keep being amazing, guys. Thank you.